Hi, teacher and classmates. Today, our group 2 will present the topic dimension of word meaning. This topic includes four main parts: denotation and a reference, sense and a reference, the change and a development of meaning, and transference of meaning. First, I would like to present on the part on denotation and reference. Denotation refers to ability of a word to identify an object that belong to the category it names. In other words, denotation is the concept to state and utterance independent part of meaning. Is the part of meaning that exists within the language system, regardless of when or how the word is used. For example, the word cheese denotes an object that are cheese include cheese, pines cheese, and mango cheese. The word teacher denotes a very person who belongs to the category of teachers. The word laptop denotes own device classified as laptop. As Lion point out, reference on the other hand is the relationship between a word or expression and the specific object it refers to in a particular context. This object is called the referent. Reference is therefore variable and utterance dependent because it depends on who is speaking when and in what situation. For example, in a look that tree is about to fall, the expression that tree refers to on specific tree that the speaker is pointing at. In teacher to submit the assignment today, denotes very person who belong to the category of teacher. I bought a new laptop yesterday. The play a new laptop refer to one particular laptop purchased by the speaker. Distinguishing denotation and reference, although the difference and fundamental is often ignored. Denotation conquer thing in a general or possible member of the category. Reference conquer a particular thing in the specific situation. A speaker you refer to point to identify on a specific object, not the entire category. Example, my brother adopted a dog last week. Denotation dog, the general class of dogs. Reference a dog, the specific dog, the dog he adopted. Look at the sky. That star is incredibly bright. Denotation star, the general concept of stars. Reference that star on a specific star being pointed. Let's for example, birds can find this denotation because can reference independent of context, no reference. Thus, in my notebook, this reference, specific reference, because dependent on context, a reference, referencing expression. This my phone, this reference, specific reference, dependent on context, reference. For children need love and care. This denotation general reference because it is independent of context, no reference.
Hello teacher, today I'm going to talk about two important concepts in semantics, sense and reference. The concepts help us understand how language connects to meaning and to the real world. First, let's look at the idea of sense. Sense refers to the conceptual meaning of a word or expression. It exists inside the language and it does not depend on any real world object. For example, the word boy had the sense of young male human. The word mother had the sense of female parent. Even if don't know which boy or which mother we are talking about, we still understand the meaning. That's the sense. Now, let's move on to the reference. Reference is the actual person or things in the real world that are what reference to in a specific situation. For instance, in the sentences, the boy is running. The phrase the boy refer to a specific boy that we can see. Another example is my mother, which refers to my actual mother, and this will be different for every speaker. So, reference depends on the context. And the next is the difference between sense and reference. To summarize the difference, sense is the meaning inside the language. Reference is the real world object that expression points to. Sense answers the question, what does it mean? Reference answers the question, who or what is referring to. One expression can have one sense, but many possible references. For example, the dog. The word dog always has the same sense, but it can refer to many different dogs. And there are also expressions whose reference change all the time, such as I, you, here, and now. Some words have sense but no reference, like function words, but if almost imaginary character, Batman, Dragon, Superman, Snow White, the objects that do not exist now, unicorn, no real unicorn, refer to no reference. And a famous example in semantics is the sentences, is the evening star the morning star? These expressions have different sense, but they refer to the same object, Venus. In conclusion, understanding sense and reference help us see how language connects meaning with reality. Sense is the meaning in our minds, and reference is the connection to the world around us. Thank you for listening.
Now we will move to section 3, the change and the development of meaning. As you know, from past to present, vocabulary has always changed through different periods to suit the need and purpose of human use. Vocabulary develops as word gains new meanings, lose old ones, or shift in nuance. Semantic change enrich the lexicon and often lead to polysemy. We will first discuss the idea of change of meaning. First of all, the development of vocabulary is reflected in development of semantic structure of the word. When new meanings of the word appear, some old meaning drop out of the language or coexist with the new ones. Changing meaning, what we mean is twofold. First is semantic extension. A word acquires additional sense related to the original meaning. For example, the word sharp has original meaning is having a point edge, but now it also means intelligent. Mouse, originally an animal, but now also means a computer device. After its meaning expands, a word becomes a word with many meanings. Next is change in existing meaning. A word's denotation or connotation may shift. For example, awful one means worthy of weight of age, but now means very bad. Girl in the past meant a young person of either gender, but now only mean female child. According to research, many modern English words are polysemous, while Old English words were mostly monosemous. It can be said that semantic change is a major source of vocabulary growth. As I had told before, vocabulary has always changed to suit the needs and purpose of human use. The change in meaning also serves to meet people's needs in using language. The first cause of semantic change is about extra-linguistic. This connects with changing in society, culture, science, and technology affect meaning. When objects are changed or our concepts are changed, for example, tablet, the original meaning is stone or wooden slate, but now it means portable computer. Cloud, originally a weather phenomenon, but now also online storage. Transfer across social groups. When professional term or slang enter general uses, meaning shift to illustrate codes, the first meaning is a private tutor, now means an sport instructor. Viral, originally a medical term, but now also rapidly spread online. Next cause is linguistic. A factor acting within the language connect with the system of language. Ellipsis, a shortened form inherits the meaning of the whole expression. Public library shortened to library, and both sides and meaningful. The second word is smartphone device, shortened to phone, now understood as the smart version. Synonym differentiation. This method borrowed synonyms push native words to narrower meanings. For instance, beast versus animal. In Old English, beast had almost the same meaning as animal, but now beast become limited to dangerous or wild animal. Synonym attraction. Words in the same semantic field adopt new shared meanings. For example, when you understand what someone is saying, you can say grief, get, or catch. And finally is psychological cause. This helps people avoid direct reference to sensitive topic, death, race, illness, and so on. Pass away instead of death, plus size instead of overweight. And next section 3.3 is nature of semantic change. Meaning can shift in denotation or connotation. The first is change in denotation. The meaning of words can become broader. As an example, vehicles, one-horse-drawn transport, but now includes cars, bikes, drones. Screen mean fabric, divider, but now any flat display surface. Narrowing has made the meaning more specific. To illustrate, meat once mean food in general, but now it mean animal flesh. Doctor in the past it mean a learned scholar, but now it mean primarily medical practitioner. A change in connotation, the meaning can change in two aspects. Firstly, a word acquires negative association. For example, crafty, once skillful, but now it means deceitfully clever. Hershey, once mean housewife, but now it means immoral woman. But when a word gains positive or noble association, like knife, once means servant, but now means honored warrior. Ambitious, once ready for power, but now often motivated, driven. And this is the end of section 3. Now we move to section 4.
Good morning, everyone. Today I will talk about transference of meaning. This concept explains how the meaning of a word can shift and extend to express new ideas. Overall, it helps language become more expressive and creative. Before we continue, it is important to note that words have different dimensions of meaning. These dimensions allow us to extend or transfer meaning from one situation to another. Thanks to this, figurative language becomes possible and natural. Now, here are the main types of meaning transference, including metaphor, metonymy, and other types. In other types, we have hyperbole, literary, irony, and euphemisms. First one, let's get started with simile to more understand about transference of meaning. A simile is a figure of speech that compares two different things using the words like or as to highlight a shared quality. This is structure of simile. For example, he runs like a wind. Suggest that he runs extremely fast because the wind moves quickly and smoothly. Another example is the night was as black as coal, compares the darkness of the night to coal, which is known for its deep black color. Clearly, similes helps us visualize things more easily. Next, we move to metaphor. Metaphor is a conceptual projection whereby one experiential demand is partially understood in terms another experiential demands include in the same common experiential demand. A metaphor occurs when a word is used in a new way based on a similarity between two things. First, some metaphors rely on shape. For example, the neck of the bottle. In this sentence, we use neck because the bottle narrows like a human neck. Second, metaphors can be based on positions. The head of quilt means the first person in line. Just like the head is the top part of the body. Third, metaphors could relate to movement. For instance, the river snakes through the valley means the river curls back and forth like a snake. Furthermore, metaphors can relate to function. For example, the backbone of the team. It means someone who supports the team in the same way a backbone supports the body. Metaphors can also come from color. A gray mood suggests stagnant and dullness because gray is a dull color. Or green with envy means someone feels jealous, connecting the color green with jealousy. And another metaphors may relate to size. A mammoth thus compares a very large yacht to mammoth, which is huge, or a tiny whisper emphasizes how extremely soft the sound is. In addition, animal names often describe personality. For example, he's a fox means he is clever or sly, thus like the characteristic of the fox. Or she's a butterfly describes someone lively, social, and always moving around. And the last one, proper names, also become metaphors. He's a real Hercules means he's very strong, like a mythical Hercules. Or a modern Mona Lisa means the person has mysterious beauty similar to famous painting. To sum up, a metaphor transfers meaning through similarity, and here is a comparison table to help us clearly see the difference between simile and metaphor. Metaphor is implicit comparison, and simile is explicit comparison. And simile use like or as, while metaphors directly state that a comparison without these words. Now, let's move to metonymy. Metonymy is a figure of speech in which one thinks is referred to by the name of something else that is closely associated with it. The relationship is based on conjugative closeness, not similarity, which in metaphor. For example, the White House to mean the U.S. government, the crown to refer to the king or queen. Um, Next, we move to some case of metonymy. Firstly, we use the container for its content. He drank the whole bottle means he drank all the liquid, not to the bottle itself. Second, body parts can stand for pupil. We need more hands on deck. Means we need more workers because hands represent labor. Or all eyes were on the stage means the audience was watching carefully. Additionally, concrete body parts express abstract ideas. He has a good head on his shoulders. A good head means someone is smart, not that they literally have a good-looking head. She has a warm heart. A warm heart means someone is kind and caring. Next, material can stand for an object. For example, he bought a new silver. Means a piece of silver jewelry, not a metal itself. Author names often represent their works. I'm reading Shakespeare means reading his plays, not the man. Moreover, part whose relation appear can also represent metonymy. For example, a well pulled up to the house. A well means a car because wells are an important part of the car. Or the world knows his name means many people, not the entire planet. Furthermore, a place can refer to an institution. For example, Hollywood loves superhero films refers to American film industry, not the physical location. An instrument can represent the user. The pen is mightier than the sword. This means writers have more influence than studios. And finally, brands can relate to products. He bought a new watch means he bought a Ford car. This is the table to summarize some case of metonymy. And this is the comparison table. Help us understand more about difference between metaphor and metonymy. Next, we move to hyperbole. Hyperbole is an exaggerated statement not meant to be understood literally, but with powerful effect. For example, I'm starving to death means the person is very hungry, not actually dying. I have told you a million times simply means many times. Next, literties. Literties is an understatement expressing something in the affirmative by the negative of its contrary. For instance, she is not unfriendly means she is quite friendly, or it's not impossible means it is possible. Now we move on to irony. Irony expresses meaning by words of the opposite sense. It relies on contrast between what is said and what it means or expected. For example, great job. After someone makes a big mistake, it actually means that was not a great job. What lovely weather, said during a heavy storm. It actually means the weather is terrible. And the final is euphemism. A euphemism is a mild, indirect, and or pleasant expression used to replace a word or phrase that may be too harsh, unpleasant, impressing, or socially sensitive. We can give some example like gone to a better place instead of did, career break instead of out of work, or financially challenged instead of poor. So, in conclusion, transference of meaning is an essential part of how language grows and becomes more expressive. Through simile, metaphor, metonymy, hyperbole, literties, irony, and euphemism, we can describe how experience in richer, more creative ways. Additionally, these devices help us communicate feelings, soften messages, and create humor and show capsule attitudes. Understanding them also makes it better reader and listener because we can recognize deeper meaning behind words. Overall, transference of meaning shows how flexible and imaginative native language truly is. That's all the end. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.